All right, man. Let's talk about Errol. He did an interview with Sean Tizell on Fight Hype. I watched it and I took a couple interesting things from it. I found one in an article form where he basically said that he expects Terence Crawford to start fast, and where um, Sean was saying Derrick James said that Errol Spence can they banking on Errol Spence taking Terence Crawford's punching punch and just powering through it and keep coming, and they're not worried about the counter punching. They just you know he just counting on Errol Spence chin. I'm gonna speak in depth on that a lot, but and I'm gonna explain that now. That's like the second time he didn't like really. Remember, he said that, oh, we don't make adjustments, we just step it up, we just ramp it up, we just ramp up the we just ramp up the production, and I'm gonna talk about that. So, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop a video. So he expect Bud to start fast. That's very smart because they challenge Bud. Bud usually responds, and I think the Amir Khan fight where they said, well, Amir Khan gonna get off to an early lead on Terence Crawford. So Terence Crawford got out there and he got it popping early versus Amir Khan. Let's not forget that. Dropped him early, came out fast. So in that fight, he wasn't downloading information for too long at all neither. So he took it straight to him. All right, and started off fast. So as he says, I see him coming out probably a bit more assertive than he usually is, just because everybody's saying that. Said Errol Spence Jr. to Fight Hype about his belief that Terence Crawford will start fast against him on July 29th, because of many people pointing out that he could fall behind early if he starts slow like he usually does. Now, at the end of the day, yeah, people pointing that out, but that's not the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is if he fall behind early, um, if he falls behind early, it's like most people think he gonna start 2 or 3 points, or in a 4 point deficit crossing the street at PBC. So most people think he gonna start in some type of deficit. So I think that's really why people going out there basically saying that, okay, he may start in a deficit, and that he need to come out fast. You don't be wanting to come from behind, and you can't drop Errol Spence, or you can't stop Errol Spence. Because one thing about it is that you can't bank on knocking somebody out during the fight. You see a lot of guys like Real Vila last weekend was banking on one punch to get Jerron Boots Ennis out of there. That was his game plan. He was banking on one punch to get him out of there, and uh you don't want to do that. You going into enemy territory. That's nothing new. We all knew that if Terence Crawford crossed the street, it was going to, be a possibility that it was going to be a possibility of, him getting robbed. And he understood that. And a lot of people say, well, Terence Crawford, he ain't coming for the decision. He coming for the knockout. He coming to knock Errol out. And is it cause for concern if he start off slow, that he can't knock Errol out, and Errol play four corners, knowing that he got the judges in the A side behind him? Could be. But it's your job to cut the ring off to make somebody fight. So I believe he should come out faster um, to try to assert himself. But then again, he may not have to. Because if Errol Spence come up, opening up, throwing a bunch of punches, and he can counter punch him, then I mean, that's what it is. That's gonna set the tone. That's gonna take that production. That's gonna drive that production down. Yeah, you could throw punches when you fight somebody like Ugas, who ain't gonna move, who ain't gonna faint, who ain't gonna slip, who looking to land just one big shot. When you fight somebody that can, you know, that can land that shot and he gonna follow up with it, it's different. It's definitely a different ball game. So maybe he can overwhelm Terence Crawford with production. It's nothing that he can do. But if Terence Crawford, if he comes in as reckless as he did versus or Dennis Ugas, he may find his head looking at the roof of the church, preacher telling the truth and it hurt. But of course he's going to come out, faster. He understands that. So he says, so I think he'll come out a bit more assertive than he usually is. I'm not naive. I know everybody's saying it. Says Spence, I'm hearing it. His coaches are hearing it. So basically, they're trying to change stuff up and do something different. But yeah, I see him coming out faster. I definitely think my punch tolerance is definitely able to take it, says Spence, when he thinks he can take Crawford's power. Now, that's not the issue. That's not the issue. Most prize fighters can take the pop when they can see it coming. That's not the issue. Counter punches are dangerous because you can't brace for them. And he went on to say, well, I'm not really banking on, like, I don't want to bank on my chin. But once you think about it, like Mikey Garcia and Lartley is the two biggest punchers that Errol Spence has faced. Nobody's talking about that. And Mikey Garcia just didn't have enough, athleticism or reach to get the bomb on target. He ain't had a missile to get it there. And Lartley just came out. Somebody reposted and said Lartley said he took that fight on like a week or two notice. I think he said a week notice. And if he would have had more than a week, he'd have beat Errol Spence. But if it was a fifth, we all be drunk. So that ain't his reality. He lost. So when you start thinking about it, he ain't fought too many southpaws. He ain't fought too many punchers. And like I said, Mikey is a tremendous puncher. And it's the reason why he fought Mikey the way he did. He ain't really try to, dog out Mikey like that. He threw a lot of punches, but he didn't really try to dog out Mikey like that. You feel me? Like, he didn't really try to walk through him because he knew Mikey had that one-hitter quitter. Mikey can crack. But other than that, I mean, he really ain't fought no punch. He ain't fought nobody can punch, and he ain't fought too many southpaws. That's something that they're not telling you about him. And the punchers that he quote unquote fought, like Danny Garcia, they didn't take chances to get the bomb there. I believe he said Kell Brook is the heaviest handed fighter that he fought, or at least the strongest fighter. It's a little bit different. So he really ain't fought no punchers, bro. I keep telling y'all that. Especially somebody who can punch, who can counter punch. Those are really rare though. Those you don't see those walking around in boxing like that no more. Kowalski's can punch. That's what we do know. Albanese was on the six punch knockout streak. We do know the Victor Postal came off stopping the machine Luis Matias when Danny Garcia didn't. And Gamboa could do his thing too. He ain't no chump, especially when he beat him in his prime. We seen that he buzzed Terence Crawford. So yeah, Crawford didn't fought a couple punchers throughout the years. But I don't think he fought anybody like Errol Spence. But and then his coach basically saying that they banking on being able to take the counter punches. They rely a lot on durability. They can say, well, Errol Spence defense is underrated and all this type of stuff, and this, that, and the third, dude. They rely a lot on durability. And I tell you this, if they don't make adjustments versus counter puncher at any given moment, that fight can change. Because one thing we know, if Bud catch him like we're doing this Ugas, we know how the white guy doesn't die at the end of this movie. We already know how this about to go. we know how this about to go. So he gonna go in for the kill. And what's so concerning about them relying so much on durability and relying so much on volume? You can't do that when you step up in weight. You got to be guys with skills. You got to be guys with ability. You got to be guys with your speed. You can't bank on being able to say, well, I'm just got to bank on it. He could take the shot, especially when you're dealing with a counter puncher who gonna throw multiple punches. That's the difference. When you fighting a counter puncher that's gonna throw 2 or 3, 4 shots, that's dangerous Yeah, or Dennis Ugas, he was able to take one shot and one shot from Ugas, and then another shot from Ugas, and then he was able to recover. But the thing about fighting a counter puncher and a great finisher is that a combination counter puncher, that you don't see those guys a lot. That means he gonna finish up with 3, 4, 5 shots. And the punch that you don't see coming, that's the punch that hurt the most. That's how you really determine you got a great chin. If you can handle a guy counter punches, that's how you truly determine if you got a fantastic chin. But relying on durability, that's not gonna get you far. Trust and believe me. It gets you far, but it only gonna get you so far. So they got to be able to make adjustments, especially moving up in weight. When you talk about, depending on his durability, but depending on his durability versus a puncher and a counter puncher is pretty much dangerous. So it is what it is. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Check out my new channel. The links in the description. Peace.